everyone, this is Gayle, and welcome to another Tupelo Designs LLC Polymer Clay Design Team video. That's a long name, isn't it? I want to do something kind of quick and easy today. One thing, I don't know about you, but all of a sudden all my time is being taken up by so many other things. So I decided, because the holidays are right around the corner, I was at church the other day and they were telling us that our Christmas party is in 3 weeks. How did that happen? I just don't understand. But anyway, let me show you what we're going to do today. We're going to make candy. Not the edible candy, but candy that you can make into charms, earrings, you know, decorations for your tree, whatever you want to use it for. So the first thing I'm going to do is show you that I'm using the Primo, I believe this is the pomegranate. Yes, this is pomegranate. I used 1 square off of that, and I added 1 square. This is an unopened package, but I used 1 square of Primo translucent, and I mixed those together because red is such a highly pigmented color. It tends to bleed, and especially when you've got it next to white, it just doesn't do well. But mixing it with translucent will help to ease that. And then I'm also using white, and I've used a whole package of white because I use white, mostly white, so I've used a whole package. So I used the Primo white. And I do have, and this is an old color, this is not a current color, but I have an old Primo green. It was just called green, and it's just a real pretty Christmas green. And I'm thinking about adding that to the candy because green and red are pretty Christmas colors. So let me tell you what I'm going to do. I think first I'm going to make some ribbon candy. And I've cut the white into these little squares. They are about a little more than 1/2 inch wide and about almost 1.5 inches long, but not quite. Just little squares. It doesn't really matter. And I did the same thing with the red and the green. And I think, speaking of green, I think I'm going to start with a green and lay that on top of the white, and then put another piece of white. And then I'll put a piece of red. That's a thin red. I think I'll go with, I rolled some at number 3. I'm going to put a red. And then I think I'll put 2 pieces of white. So we'll have a difference in color. And maybe another green, another white, and a red. Let's do 2 reds this time. And just put a white on top. Now it doesn't matter what order you put these in. You can see I didn't know what I was going to do until I sat down. Let me just come in a little bit so you can see what I'm doing. Trying to get all my other stuff out of the way. But now I'm going to just kind of smush this down a little bit and try to make it longer. And you can lay it down on your table, you can pull, you can squeeze. But the idea is you need to get it longer so you'll have enough candy to make into your ribbon candy. And let's just stretch it out. Still a little thicker, so you can see on the side. I'm sorry, I probably haven't been in the frame because I came in to show you. But see, that's still kind of thick. And you want this to be as thin as you can get it. So let's just press with your finger and your thumb to try to get it thinner. And press the other side. And don't forget, when you're doing this, make sure your thumb goes across the middle, because you don't want it thick in one place and thin in the other. But I think this is going to be better. It's going to be thinner. And let's see what we can do now. Well, I pinched that to where it split. Okay, so let's do this. This looks more like the ribbon candy I remember. And of course you can make these longer if you want to make them have more loops in them. But see, that looks more like the ribbon candy I remember. How about you? So that's the ribbon candy, and like I said, you can make, out of the little bit of clay that I used, I could probably make 3 or 4 more pieces. So that, if you're making a charm bracelet, you would want to make these down a little bit smaller. Oh, unless you like chunky charms. Some people like chunky charms. But you could make it a little bit narrower, which what I would do would be to press this in a little bit more to make it narrower so that you have a narrower piece of candy. And then you can, let me show you what I mean. See, this one, see, it goes that way. See, this is a little bit smaller. Just keep pressing and making it smaller this way so that you can have small little ribbon candy that you can use as a charm. This is more the life-size ribbon candy. So that's one type of Christmas candy that you can make. Okay, first thing we're going to do, well, next we're going to make a starlight mint. Now, I know at Christmas they come out with the starlight mints that have the green stripe in it also, but I tried that a little while ago and it didn't work very well, so I'm just going to do one just with the red stripe. And what you do is you run a really small snake of red, start with a circle, little over a ½ inch. You can even make it a little bit skinnier if you want, but I'm going to leave it there. And cut a little red snake. Probably what I ought to do is cut these ahead of time. It would save everybody some time. I don't think that one's going to be long enough to do anything. Let me just go ahead and pre-cut these so then I won't have to worry about doing them later. I'm just going to guesstimate. It's going to take too long for me to measure each one. Let's see how that works. So we've got one, then we're going to put a white piece next to it. Actually, I think I'm going to put, oh, I'll go ahead and do it this way. Let me see if I'm going to have enough reds. And put a red and a white. And a red. This one's going to be too long because it's a little fatter and I should have cut it off before I did that, but that's okay. Let me do another one. Another red. And another white. I may have to roll some more red. And there's another red and another white, and just do this all the way around. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and I'm only about halfway around, so I'm going to have to roll some more reds. So let me just cut another piece of this red off. And try to roll it out quickly so you don't have to wait too long. Or I could pause the video, but I'm almost there now. I feel air right here. And you can feel air. It starts to feel, it doesn't roll smooth. It'll feel bumpy and lumpy, and then sometimes it'll get floppy. Like right here, I can feel it here on the end. But hopefully I can get enough pieces out of this. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And I also need to roll more white. Since I just rolled the red, I keep a baby wipe close by to wipe the red off my hands before I start using the white. Otherwise, you'll end up with pink. Sorry for this. I have some people that don't like the real time because they say it makes my videos boring. But you know, I started doing videos because I couldn't find any YouTube videos on polymer clay that I could see everything that was going on because everybody was speeding up their videos. And I swore then I would not do it. I just decided to start my own, do my own videos. So I'm sorry if you don't like it. But I do have a reason for it. So just continue to alternate the red and the white. And another red. I'm almost finished. Let me put a white on this side. And a white on this side. And I think I'm going to need just one more piece of white. Right in between these two red ones. And this one isn't quite long enough, but I had a few other little pieces I could add to it. And put right in there. There we go. Now you're going to want to cut off these little scraggly ends. Put those with my red, white, and green. And then you just squeeze these together. going to save those red ones. Roll it on your work surface so that you can make it smooth. Trim the end off, because you know the end always gets messed up. And then cut you a nice thick slice. Put it down on your work surface and just round the edges a little bit. And there's your Starlight Mint. Can you see? Looks like a Starlight Mint. Now you can make this smaller. You can roll this to make it, reduce this down so that it makes a smaller mint. And you can use those as charms. You can make your own garland for your Christmas tree using these mints. And the other candy too. You can do all kinds of things with polymer clay candy. Make garlands, you can make necklaces and earrings. I'm not going to, excuse me, my throat's getting dry. I'm not going to spend my time reducing this. Although I've gone this far, I may as well. So this will be a little bit smaller. But you would round these edges, because the Starlight Mints aren't square on the side. You see the difference in the size? These would make adorable earrings. You could just put a little hook through it and you would have your earrings. But here's that. And then last but not least, I thought we would make a candy cane. So I've got another log of white here. And I've got this log of white that I'm going to also, well actually I don't think we're going to need that. And I'm not going to put the green in this one. Well, maybe I will. I've got the green there. But let's just make the reds. Just cut that end off because it was beginning to flop a little bit. Now you can be very creative with the stripes on your candy cane. You can make skinny red stripes, fat red stripes. You can put a fat one and then two skinny ones together. You can even flatten these out if you like, which I might do. Just roll them to a thin size and then roll over it with your roller to flatten them out. Okay. So let's cut this end off flat and just lay this straight and cut it off. There you go. And then I think I'm going to make one really skinny. Actually, I think I might try, let me see if I can do this. Let me make two real skinny red stripes. See if this is going to be big enough for two. because you know how sometimes your stripes on your candy canes are, you'll see the skinny little lines in between. So I'm going to put a big one and then two little ones. Then put another fat one. Whoops. And don't try to pull on it and split it because it's kind of thin like I did. Just want to cut this a little bit more even. I'm going to put this here with some space between it and the other one. Alright, now let's put maybe one skinny line. So they don't have to be uniform. Let me roll this, flatten this out a little bit. Let's see. You put a skinny one beside that one. I know I'm talking to myself, but I'm by myself right now except for my dogs and cat. So I'm allowed. Let's see, I'm going to cut this skinny. Now if you want, you can just roll a sheet of the red and slice off little pieces. Okay, and let me do a thick piece now. I see I didn't roll this very well, but I'm going to put a thick stripe right here, and I think I'm going to leave it alone. Make sure you cut with the right side of the blade. Good thing this isn't sharp anymore. Okay, so there we go. And again, we're going to roll it to adhere this, and we're just going to keep rolling. We're going to reduce this down. You want to make it smooth, and you want to, as it starts to, I may have put these too close together too. Looks like I did. I may have to redo this whole video. Well, let's just see what it looks like when it twists. It's not too bad. So you don't ever give up. Sometimes it turns out better than even you think it will. And you twist just by rolling, keeping one side straight or still and moving the other side. But we're going to stretch this out depending on what you want to do. If you wanted to make decorations for your tree, then you might be able to just leave it thick like this and make your little candy cane. Actually, let's just cut this in half. I'll just use this one. To show you how little you can go to make candy cane earrings. You just always have to keep twisting. and then roll it smaller and smaller, and then you have to twist some more. You see, this is twisted a little bit too much. It's getting to be more like a stripe, so I'll just cut that off. And you have to be careful. You can twist it too much, and then these twists will turn into a stripe. So let me cut this in half again. But I'm going to make them as skinny as I can possibly make them, because nobody wants a big, heavy pair of earrings, even though polymer clay isn't heavy. But I'm going to take this end, and let me find something. Let me use my little rod. I'll put my little rod here to make my loop. Oh, I had something on the end of my rod. Not sure what that was. It had to be clay. It's the only thing I use that for. But you can make a little tiny candy cane and cut it off here. And again, you can put a pin up through it this way. Come up from the end, use an eye pin. Come up through here. You can make the hole now and not put the pin in until after it bakes. But make 2 of them, and you have some adorable candy cane earrings. So let me do this one. And using something like this to make your hook with will also give you candy canes that look the same at the top. The stripes may look a little different, but they'll be the same at the top. But there you go. There's your little candy canes for your earrings. You could make charms out of those. You can make them even tinier than this if you just want to keep rolling. You can make candy cane sticks. You know, there are sticks of peppermint. And you can just cut them into little pieces like this. You know, there's just so many things you can do with with the red and white stripes. So I hope you enjoyed this and that this has given you some ideas. My goal for this particular tutorial was not to make a finished project, but just to give you some ideas so that your imagination can take over and make projects of your own, whether it's little earrings or bigger pieces of candy that you're going to string on a garland, or smaller pieces that you might want to make it into either earrings or charms. These would make adorable Christmas bracelets if you made the ribbon candy a little bit smaller, like I was showing you here, to make this smaller, and do your ribbons very small, and you could have those and these little things, the little starlight mints and the little candy canes hanging on a charm bracelet. It's just, you're not limited by, you know, at all. Just, you're only limited by your own imagination. So I hope you like this. I'm sorry I fumbled through it. I've had a lot of distractions. My dogs are in and out in here, and my cat is in and out. For some reason, they're very agitated today. But I just wanted to take an opportunity to say how much I appreciate everybody, and especially TupeloDesignsLLC. They have decided to keep me on as a full-time polymer clay design team member. And I was very thrilled. Because I was starting my other business, I didn't want to distract from the Tupelo business at all, and they were very kind and very generous with me in offering me this as a full-time position. So thank you very much, Tupelo Designs LLC, And I will see you again next Monday with another fun project. Have a great day. Bye-bye.